Fabrizio Romano has just shared a crucial update that every Arsenal fan needs to know, and Nottingham Forest is in talks with Arsenal for a £30 million rated attacking player. Will it work out this time? Stay with me until the end of the video to check out the latest Arsenal news straight from the Emirates Stadium. But before that, if you're as passionate about Arsenal as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening with the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's dive into today's top news. The back and forth between Arsenal and Mikel Merino has been dragging on for what feels like forever. It's obvious that Arsenal need to beef up their midfield this summer. Sure, Declan Rice is a top player, but Mikel Arteta knows he can't carry the load alone. Jorginho isn't what he used to be, and relying on Thomas Partey to stay fit is a gamble. Marino, who's been linked to a move to the Emirates for a while now, might just be the answer to Arsenal's midfield issues. The Real Sociedad star could bring exactly what the Gunners need in the middle of the park. Arteta is a big fan of Marino, and it's easy to understand why. The 28-year-old has loads of experience, including a taste of the Premier League from his Newcastle days, and he's still in his prime. Marino could fit right in with Rice, as they'd complement each other perfectly, sharing responsibilities in the number 6 and number 8 roles. Plus, Marino's a beast in duels and can make a difference at both ends of the pitch. It looks like this long-running transfer saga might finally be nearing its end. Transfer guru Fabrizio Romano just dropped a major hint on X with some well-placed emojis, suggesting that Marino is really close to finalizing his move to Arsenal. Arsenal's sporting director Adieu has been busy behind the scenes, having private discussions with Marino as the transfer talks dragged on. But it looks like all those discussions and negotiations between everyone involved are finally about to wrap up. Micah tells Arsenal to sign Ivan Toney. Speaking on the Rest is Football podcast, Richards said, "You know who I'd go and buy, Ivan Toney. He was left out the squad. There's talks about him going to Saudi. Not necessarily for their system in terms of how Arsenal want to press. We've seen their free-flowing football at times, but just a different option off the bench. Something different to give them a different dynamic. I think he'd be a good fit. Toney would certainly give the Gunners an interesting alternative option. Like Havertz, he is a very physical presence up front. He can win the ball in the air, hold up possession, and bring teammates into play. However, Toney is also a clinical finisher who comes alive in the penalty area and possesses a goal poacher's instincts. He has the capacity to be the consistent and reliable goal scorer that the Gunners currently lack amongst their striker options. Richards is not only telling Arsenal to sign Toney, but he is asking Arteta to change his mind about the player. Arteta has an issue with Toney's behavior, and it is certainly safe to say that the 28-year-old is a big personality. If Arteta has decided that Toney isn't a good fit for Arsenal due to his attitude, then it is hard to imagine the Spanish coach ever changing his mind. Arsenal fans discuss future of Ivan Toney. Toney has been linked with Arsenal for some time and has shown in the past that he can be clinical in front of goal in the Premier League. It certainly seems that the forward is set to move on from Brentford this summer, as he was left out of the Bees matchday squad for the first round of Premier League fixtures due to mounting transfer interest. However, according to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, reporting on X, Saudi Arabia is now the most likely destination for Toney rather than the Emirates Stadium. With the Gunners now looking unlikely to secure Toney's services, many supporters of the North London club have now shared their thoughts on missing out on the player. One fan said Ivan Toney will be good signing for Arsenal in terms of conventional striker ability. However, he is the kind of personality that will not accept being a squad player. Arteta will be apprehensive signing such player. Another added, continuously pushing Ivan Toney to Arsenal as a pundit shows you lack understanding and just say things for the sake of it. If Arsenal don't win the league, how many of these pundits will says they should have gone and signed Toney? Do you still believe that Toney would be a good signing for Arsenal? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Let's go. Nottingham Forest is in talks with Arsenal for a £30 million rated attacking player. Nottingham Forest is reportedly eyeing Santiago Gimenez, but they're also in discussions with Arsenal about one of their players. With just weeks left in the transfer window, Forest is keen to bolster their squad and has even put in a bid for Gimenez. Forest has gained quite a reputation for splashing the cash in recent windows, bringing in a bunch of new faces. However, finding a top striker has been a bit of a challenge for them, and the move for Gimenez seems to be their latest attempt to fill that gap, but it looks like Forest isn't stopping there. They're also considering another striker option to add to their ranks. Nottingham Forest talking to Arsenal about signing Nketiah. Updating Sky's live transfer tracker with information on Eddie Nketiah, Sheth says that both Forest and Palace are in discussions over signing the Arsenal man. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest remain in dialogue with Arsenal over the signing of striker Eddie Nketiah, Sheth said. As yet, no club has met Arsenal's valuation of the player. Nketiah was an unused substitute in Arsenal's victory over Wolves on Saturday. The forward has 3 years left on his contract and is looking to move to get more regular first-team football. Eddie Nketiah needs to leave Arsenal. It's as simple as that. The moment has come for him to move on, find a club where he can play regularly, and prove himself all over again. However, he's in for a bit of a nervous wait to see if anyone actually puts in an offer. Several clubs, including Forest, are interested in the striker. Bournemouth had reportedly shown interest, but after dropping £40 million on Evan Nilsson, that deal might be off the table. Everton also like Nketiah, but they've already splashed some cash this summer on players like Iliman and Diaye. That leaves Forest as a solid option, and a move there could see Nketiah fetching around £30 million. Premier League icon makes David Raya admission after what he saw him do in Arsenal win v Wolves. Arsenal kicked off their Premier League season with a 2-0 win over Wolves, but it wasn't as smooth as it sounds. Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka scored the goals that secured the 3 points, and starting the campaign with a clean sheet was a big win for Mikel Arteta. While Arsenal showed dominance, they were occasionally sloppy, making the game feel a bit like an extension of preseason. Wolves had a few chances to make things interesting. David Raya, who made his permanent move to Arsenal this summer after a loan spell, really shone in this match. Despite a somewhat off day for center backs William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, Raya was outstanding in goal and has since earned praise from a Premier League legend. Joe Hart praises David Raya after Arsenal victory over Wolves. Speaking on BBC Match of the Day, former Manchester City goalkeeper Joe Hart praised Raya for the confidence he showed in the victory at the Emirates. David Raya, constantly involved with his team. You know, he's come in from Brentford, respectfully not a title-chasing team, now he's at Arsenal, Hart explained. Constantly involved, moving that ball around. His team trusts him. Look at the movements, constantly on his toes. For a title-winning goalkeeper or title-winning aspirations, those moments really add up. Wolves nearly equalized after Havertz's goal when their new signing, Jurgen Strand Larsen, got a great header on target following a defensive blunder. Raya was already moving to his left, but made an incredible save by stretching out his right hand to block the shot. His performance earned him huge praise from Arsenal fans. Raya was also commanding in the air, showcasing one of the reasons Arsenal decided to bring him in. He held strong and kept Wolves from creating any more dangerous opportunities. In the final moments of the game, Pablo Sarabia tried his luck with a volley, but Raya was again up to the task, ensuring another top-notch save to preserve the clean sheet. Even though Arsenal's defense looked shaky at times, Raya proved his worth and made a statement that he's aiming for back-to-back Golden Gloves. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.